On this day, January 4th, 2022, here's one of the many superficial Muppets on TikTok. If you listen closely, he's going to reaffirm an official narrative that doesn't hold water. In other words, it's not based on replicable evidence-based research. It's never been observed, which means it's never been proved. It's a fucking theory that people repeat as if it were fact. Listen to the initial words that come out of his mouth, which he's talking about supposedly concrete answers that describe what we experience in terms of reality. But he's going to dress it up as the horse shit that I'm complaining about that does not reflect reality in any form or way, which is a fucking theory. Technically, it's propaganda in place to pave the way for a one world religion. It was seeded a very, very long time ago to do so, which also is very, very telling how long our masters have been actively working against the masses. Now, what I just said wasn't a bunch of flowery granola, vanilla horse shit. That sounds good. And you could click repost. You could buy into. You could repeat, because what he's going to tell you is, essentially polarizing positive vibes only horse shit. Just fluff. What I'm talking about would serve you if you thought about it. You can use what I can teach you as a tool. Now, bear in mind, I'm not spoon feeding you some of the deeper answers because you and I are surrounded by people like this guy, which is why TikTok is booming. It's a slush pile of propaganda by and large. And all the kids on TikTok haven't figured that out because they are not thinking for themselves. They're jerking each other off. He's also going to mention the word truth, if I'm not mistaken. Any superficial researcher could have figured this much out, and they haven't. I need to tell you this because I've said it many times before, because the truth community, is a circle jerk, and those kids don't get it. Truth is the daughter of Satanel. Satanel is also Saturnel. It's the same thing, but it doesn't come up. That's what truth is. The flip side of truth, because there's two sides to every story, is justice. The son of Jupiter. Yeah, you ever heard of that? Or Zeus? If you've ever seen the Boondock Saints, that's what their fucking tattoos mean, because our masters are laughing at us. There's a very good reason why the truth community was branded as the truth community by our masters. You think just some Muppets online got together and said, we're going to call this the truth community? No, there was likely, if I'm not mistaken, a think group that got together and branded that shit. Because truth also has to do with the feminine. The sacred feminine. And if I'm not mistaken, having to do with the changing of the guard, that's what we're living through, primarily speaking, right now. Which is why you see that in the programming. A heavy emphasis on really bad female characters, mind you, even though we used to have good ones. Back to point. I'm going to play this rot for you. It's only 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
This is the entire universe. You have found your way here. It means you are on the right trail to truth.
Not if you're listening to this guy.
This is the Metatron's cube. It represents the atom and the universe. The first big circle is the all. Every circle is the all. It is the atom itself. It is God. This is physicality. It is earth. Here it is right here. Now they all fit into this six-pointed cube. Also air. Let's go water next year. Water is the downward triangle right in there. This all actually is light. This is just everything in the universe.
Let's go back and listen to that again, because he's wrong. If I heard him right.
Let's go water next year. Water is the downward triangle right in there. This all actually is light.
He's talking about water. He's not talking about fire. Why did he just tell you that was light? Let's hear it one more time.
Water next year. Also air.
And when he points to the upright triangle, that's fire.
Let's go water next year. Water is the downward triangle right in there. This all actually is light. This is just everything in the universe. It is self. Now we have space, or the ether. It is right here in
the dodecahedron is not the ether.
the middle, and also right here. This atom is infinite.
Atoms don't exist. Atomism is a fucking propaganda campaign for pseudo-intellectual wet farts. Like the guy you're looking at. Not the guy you're listening to.
It will forever go on. There's a small one right here. You could leave it empty if you want, but I like to put stuff in it because it's fun. This is the entire universe.
That probably applies to his asshole, too. What the fuck do I know?
I won't talk about the angel. I will not talk about Metatron. This...
I will for a moment. If you think of the Ark of the Covenant, you got two angels on top, right? One of those is technically Metatron, which is the masculine. The other side is Sandalphon, and it's rarely mentioned. You can find things having to do with Sandalphon, but those two are diametrically opposed. One is the sacred masculine, one is the sacred feminine, and the blending of the two is harmony, so to speak. Just something to chew on. What the fuck do I know?
Is the purpose. It is the way of the universe. If you can understand this, if you can decipher the code of what it is...
This guy doesn't understand this, but he's talking about it. I don't know that he works for somebody, but he's repeating absolute slop. By the way, the truer answers you can reason out. You can find them in a superficial Google search. You'll have to compare and contrast a few things because sometimes there's misdirection in that regard too, because Google's a tool of propaganda. It's not a search engine anymore. I'm also just staring at how many people, 2,774 people have already circulated this propaganda. I mean, he's wrong on so many fucking points. It's absurd. It's absurd. 37,000 people have clicked like on here. And I don't think... Here, I'll continue it in a minute, but I don't think anybody's going to tell him that he's fucking wrong. You got it! 64 idiots chimed in on that. Let there be light, light, spirit, atom, and Adam. Wrong. Adam relates to ADAM, you know, the Adamu and all that other stuff, to red clay, red earth. Not some adult fairy tale horseshit that doesn't exist. No, really, look up the etymology instead of lumping it into something that people repeat. I am does not have to do with the atom or atomism at all. Jesus fucking Christ. Tesseract? This kid's a moron. If you look closely, do you see the cube? That's the hexahedron. That's the fucking tesseract. So to speak. Alright, back to point. Either way, kids are fucking stupid, and you and I are surrounded by them. And when I say kids, I'm talking about all generations now, because we've all been privy to the DARPA internet, which has misled people. And you and I are being actively manipulated on a daily fucking basis.
You will have found yourself.
Horseshit.
As the universe. All the elements are one thing, and that is light. The atom. This also means the same thing. You're onto it. You're onto the trail. You're getting there. You're getting hot. You're getting real hot.
Yeah, I think I was right about the butt stuff.
This.
Oh, so one more time. What the fuck do I know? I could teach you things you're not supposed to know. Most people don't see the videos I leave online because I'm not lying to you. Case in point. Most of these are bots, if I'm not mistaken. The ones that do have larger accounts these days. If we shuffle through here, you'll also see a lot that don't have any views whatsoever, and or I was censored, flat out censored. You see this one here, because I put my moniker in there. Almost nobody saw those videos. And the list goes on. I've got supposedly 300 people on one of my YouTube channels. Here, we'll just go to it. I'll show you what I mean. And it wouldn't be this way if censorship didn't exist, if fascism didn't exist, is a better way to put it. But it does, unfortunately. 3 of those views, 1 of those is me watching the video. So anytime you see a view on here, it's me watching the video, which means no traction online. Wonder why is only me seeing the video. It's ironic. Do you see all these no views or 1 views? Look at that. Those are no views. It's synonymous with no views because that's me checking the video to make sure that it plays with audio and visual. 401 wet farts supposedly saw the NPR video, big surprise, and only 1 of them clicked like. You guys could go to the videos or the accounts that I moderate, and you could watch them, you could think about them. Lately, I've been dishing up a lot of superficial shit that people haven't figured out. If you don't understand the superficial shit, you're never going to figure out the cooler shit, which means you're going to be susceptible to fucking propaganda, just like all the fucking retards that repeated what that light in the ass piece of fucking shit who is actively misleading people on TikTok left on the DARPA internet. It's just the kind of bastard that I am. Have yourself a laugh. YouTube won't let me post the video currently, so I'm gonna have to put it on a different channel. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Oh, 2 of these will pop up. That's efficient. Just so I don't have people popping up and looking for it and not being able to find it. Obviously, but maybe it's not as obvious to some of you. What was I saying? This is the kind of bastard that I am. Blah, blah, blah. Rinse and repeat. And if you guys consider what I've been leaving online for over 10 years, or you read something I left in print, etc., etc., it's going to open your eyes. It's going to... You'll learn some shit if you think about it. Most people can't do that anymore because their masters are doing away with critical thinking skills and attention spans and moral compasses, and the list goes on because there's a war on the masses and most people haven't figured that much out. Which is why they're susceptible to fucking garbage. There we go. I can't send the same one again? Well, god damn it. Can if I do this. Fuckers.